People have blown out backgrounds and properly exposed subjects, and I want to just go over quickly on what I think you could do to make the sky come out and the subject come out all in one. So let's go over that real quick. This is what I was talking about with a blown out sky but a properly exposed subject. If I turn the exposure all the way down, you can see that the sky has clipping. The subjects are properly exposed, and so if you were to try and make this a good image, you really could make it into a fantastic image, but it's still going to have that blown out sky, and we wanted to see the sky on the day. Now, this isn't me saying go out and underexpose every single session. Now, I went a little extreme on this one, but I'm trying to just make an example on what you can do to be able to recover an image later and retain the sky. Every lighting situation is going to be different. Every camera situation is going to be different. The lens and everything, these all have little factors that contribute to each individual having their own style and things that they can do to their images. This is what I can do with a Nikon D810 in this particular lighting situation. Make sure you experiment with your camera and have fun in the editing software, seeing what you can do to be able to bring things back. This is going to be the final result that we're going to go over today. We're going to reset this to default and start again. The before image, and so the first step that I do is go ahead and do adaptive color. Come down here to the details panel and click denoise. That's going to take away all of the noise. You can turn it up or down to your liking depending on what you're wanting, and then come back up here. I'm not going to touch any of these things yet. We're going to go directly to the subject and background first. In your panel over here on the right hand side, there's the mask tool. First, I'm going to select the background to get that going. We're going to pay attention to the sky. We don't want to have that blown out. So we're going to bring down the highlights and we're going to bring up the exposure. We're going to turn the shadows up. We're going to make it a lot warmer. As you can tell, the subjects are really dark. So let's bring them back by selecting the plus tool and then select subject. With them selected by themselves, let's just adjust them. We don't want to go too extreme. So what you're going for here is matching the highlights and the shadows to make it to where it's a nice seamless transition, making them pop out from the background without kind of giving it that cutout look. I'm going to increase the contrast. I'm going to turn down the highlights on them. This will come back later. We're going to increase the shadows, and if you increase the shadows, turn the blacks down to match. If you were to see a black in here, you'd want to match it with another black tone in there. You can do a little bit more. You could do warmth or anything like that. So this is already just two small little adjustments to bring them back and retain the sky. So everything looks colorful and amazing. Now we're going to try and adjust that little sun flare I was talking about. So we're going to come up to the plus sign again. We're going to select radial gradient. And I know this is going to put a big red dot all over them. Don't worry about that. We're going to take care of that in a second. I'm going to turn the feathering up so that way it gets a nice gradient from the middle out. And then we're going to just adjust this slightly just so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to turn the highlights back down. And then what we're going to do is come up to the subtract tool. Click that and then select subject. That's going to disconnect them from that mask. So where you see black, it's transparent. Where you see white, it's showing through. So with the white selected on everything except for the subject in like a little layer pattern, you could also do this up in a corner or over to the side and then select the subject out only if they're in front of it. You could also keep it to kind of make it blend together. There's a lot of different ways you can play with this. Just go ahead and have fun with it. And here's the next part to make it actually look like a flare. And now that we have just these little adjustments, I'm going to turn the warmth up quite a bit. As you can see, it's coming around them. If I were to turn the whites up, it kind of makes it blown out in that middle, but then come out like a gradient. Just keep playing around with it. Here's where the flare part comes into play. With the clarity, that's going to make it softer if you go into a negative clarity, and the dehaze, if you're trying to dehaze something, if you went negative, you're hazing something, of course. So we're going to do two of those little different things. We're going to turn the clarity down. That's going to soften it up a little bit. The dehaze is going to add a little bit of haze to wherever you're adding that flare. So with that, we now have it a little too bright. So we're turning the exposure down to bring back the sky again, because we don't want to lose that. And now we have a nice flare coming in behind them. If we had a true flare here, we would have a little bit of wrap coming around his hand and her hand. We're going to come in here to the add tool and then click brush. Our flow needs to be around 40, 50%, somewhere in there. Just kind of play with it. Make sure auto mask is not turned on because we're wanting to do a general area. From here, I just want to kind of click this out and make the sun bloom come through and around them. So what this does is just gives that nice wraparound look that you can get with the sun flare, because it would come through because of atmosphere and things. This is adding a nice little effect. Now that we've got the flare figured out, let's try and bring them out just a little bit more because their faces are kind of dark now. So if we were to create a new mask and then just click brush tool, I'm going to turn the brush flow up to 50%, but I'm going to make it kind of small. And I'm just going to come in here and just select their faces out and then just this little dark area. Now if you were to select the exposure tool and raise it up, it makes their faces, or wherever you select the brightness, to come out just a little bit more. So if you think there, or there needs to be a little brighter, then you can do that. This little brush tool just makes things brighter in the areas that you're selecting. So if we wanted to bring out just his pants a little bit, maybe over here on his side, just a little bit on his shoulder, his arm, just little areas here and there, then that's what that little brush would do. And this is called dodging and burning. If you were to go the other way and do the exposure on a negative, then it would do the burning side or make it darker. But we're not going to do that with them today. We're going to go into the next level, which is just doing minor adjustment and color grading. So we're going to get out of this panel and we're going to go back into the edit panel. If you're in the normal Lightroom and not Lightroom Classic or Adobe Camera Raw, then this little calibration panel is not going to be there. So you would need to use Adobe Camera Raw or Lightroom Classic to be able to see this, and it is going to come in later. Color everything, and we're going to use our exposure sliders and contrast and just kind of bring things to how you would like it. And so if you wanted to turn things up or turn things down, this is the final adjustments that you would kind of play around with to do a global adjustment to the entire scene. So if we wanted to make things even warmer, more colorful, if you wanted to add more clarity or texture, make things softer, add a vignette to them. That's always a good effect when you're trying to do this type of thing. But now into the color grading panels, I'm going to select the yellow, and for the yellow, a lot of this scene is yellow, and I want to try and make it a little warmer. So if I drag this all the way, it's going to do really too much. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to bring the saturation down a little bit, and the darkness. This controls how dark the actual yellow parts of the scene are. So if we do the greens, I'm going to do the same thing. Now you will notice that this adjusts the grass a lot. If you see those tones inside the grass, this is a good way to adjust that. Saturation up or down, and then you can turn the luminance up or down to make the grass darker or lighter, depending on how you want it. But keep in mind, her dress is green as well, so you don't want to adjust anything in there. And then the final step in color grading is going to be adjusting your shadows and midtones and highlights to just the way you like it. If you want to do some cross toning, you can come in here, or you can make it even more warmer or dramatic. Some people like to do some purples in there. Some people like to do more greens. I'm going to leave the shadows alone. I'm going to come into just the highlights and just see where I would like it. Actually don't need to adjust anything in there. And on that, I'm just double clicking the circle to make it go back to 0. But in the calibrations channel, I am going to turn the shadows to a little bit more purple. If you could see that it's kind of giving it a pink purple tone. If I wanted to adjust the color of the oranges, you could go even more into that. So I'm going to turn those up, but here's the biggest dramatic effect. I'm going to turn the blues down a little bit just because the sun was pointing down on his socks and things like that. So I want to retain his shirt, but I wanted to remove everything else, and that's what that slider is going to do. We have the final image that I showed you before. So we're going to quickly just go over the before and after. Before and after. Can recover a sky if you photograph it correctly in camera. So like I said with this in the beginning, all of the sky is blown out and it is unrecoverable. But with this one, we are showing the sky is fully lit and recoverable, so all we would have to do is bring back the shadows. Remember, your camera does have limitations, but here's the final result that we got. If you have any questions about anything that I've gone over today, please leave it in the comments down below and I will get back to you on that. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we're gonna click through this little before and after while you look at these two screens. Are you still there?